Hello, students of history, and welcome to History 1301, United States History Part 1. My name is Dr. Jessica Ray Herzogenrath, and I am an instructional assistant professor in the Department of History at Texas A&M University. I regularly teach this course and its counterpart, 1302, United States History Part 2. Before you begin watching our lectures that explore the first part of the history of the United States, I'd like to talk with you about what it means to be a historian and why history remains an essential part of our curriculum. In other words, why history? Maybe you have found history boring. Maybe you have a particular idea of what historians look like and what historians do. I would like to invite you to consider how you, too, can be a historian no matter what you choose to pursue in life. First, historians have a variety of backgrounds and interests, as well as different ways that they practice history. For example, before I became a historian, I taught, performed, and choreographed dance. As you watch the lectures, you will meet historians with a broad range of expertise and experiences. So remember that historians study many different aspects of history, from soldiers to society and politics to the ways we play. Yes, historians teach history, but they also work in museums, consult on films, write books, both fiction and nonfiction. They become historical interpreters, journalists, they create art, and they work in politics. Being a historian means paying attention to contexts, connecting ideas, and accounting for the complexities of human action. Historians are everywhere. Second, being a historian means realizing that everything has a history. This is noted by Dr. James Grossman, the executive director of the American Historical Association, quote, the largest membership association of historians in the world, unquote. He writes that, quote, everything has a history, means that history is always relevant, perhaps even always essential, unquote. For example, any career path that you choose has its own history that explains why it is the way it is now and how you may perform that job better. If you choose to become an engineer, for instance, there are reasons that different branches of engineering exist and why they come into being at the times they do. If you choose to become a teacher, history explains the reasons that you will teach subjects the way you do and why some places do it differently. If you choose to become part of the medical profession, it helps you to understand the history of your individual patients, as well as the treatments. Third, being a historian means cultivating a widely applicable skill set. Dates and names are only part of what we learn from and about history. We also have the opportunity to understand people's experiences and why they make the choices they do. We do so through a series of core objectives. First, by practicing critical thinking, including creative thinking, innovation, inquiry, analysis, evaluation, and the synthesis of information. The second core objective is mastering different modes of communication. In other words, effectively developing, interpreting, and expressing our ideas through written, oral, and visual modes. The third core objective is exercising social responsibility. This includes demonstrating intercultural competence, knowledge of civic responsibility, or how to practice citizenship, and the ability to engage effectively in our regional, national, and global communities. The last core objective is exercising personal responsibility. This includes the ability to connect choices, actions, and consequences to ethical decision-making. Perhaps most importantly, being a historian means learning the value of your own voice and your own story, as well as acknowledging the voices and stories of others. Through the lectures, activities, and assessments available in History 1301, United States History Part 1, you will encounter a wealth of perspectives on United States history based on the intersections and divergences of race, ethnicity, age, gender, and class, among other facets of our identities. I encourage you to think of yourselves as historians, even if you are not going to become a history major or work for a museum. History is made by humans, and no matter your career path, we are all humans first. History offers us the chance to understand our fellow human beings and the breadth and depth of experiences that shape our existence. However, I would not ask that you live in the past, but to use what you learn from the past to make the present and future what you want it to be. Thank you for watching this introduction to History 1301, United States History Part 1, and I hope that you find many different interpretations of how to be a historian and why history remains an important part of our education through these lectures offered by some of my talented colleagues here